All right. Hey, it's John Smith, the small town tourist, and this is the Small Town Podcast. I haven't been able to get out very much lately. My personal life, I'm very busy in my work life, and I'm a full-time student. I got a lot going on in my life right now, so I haven't been able to get out to do as much traveling and as much video shooting as I would like to have been able to do. But I hope everything is going right. I don't even know if this is broadcasting live or not. For some reason I've got this crazy bar at the top of my screen, and I don't know how to get rid of it. It would be nice if that would just go away. But anyway, so I haven't been able to get out as much as I would like to. It's just been hectic. It's been busy. Let me see. I just want to verify that it's even working. I guess I could go up to comments here, see if there's anybody commenting. But let's see. Yeah, it looks like it's live. It looks like it's working good. So that's all. I just wanted to make sure that the technology was working. But it's been a while. It's been a while since I've been able to come on and do a live or do a podcast or anything like that. And so I just wanted to come on and talk about some of the things that I have planned for this summer. I do have a couple breaks. I got a nice break in July from school, and it looks like I'll be able to maybe get to the southern part of Arizona to hit some of the small towns down in southern Arizona. Some of the places, and I'll let me get my map here, and let me share my screen real quick. There we go. And so it looks like what I'd like to do is get south of Tucson, and there's a couple different places that I'd like to get to. One of them for sure is right on near the border of Mexico and Arizona, and that's a town called Bisbee. That is a really cool town. I don't know if it'll bring up pictures or not of Bisbee, but here's some pictures. Pretty awesome town. Very, very cool, very historic, and lots going on there. So I'd be pretty excited to get there. Let's see if I can kind of flick through some of the pictures, but you can tell some of the older architecture. They do have this tour of this Queen mine there. I guess it's an old copper mine down in Bisbee. I'm very much looking forward to that. And from my understanding in Bisbee, when you're there are steps beyond belief. Now, I am not, in Arizona, when you go to some of these towns, it's not unusual to come to some of these towns where you just have to hike a ton of steps. In fact, one of the towns that I was in that there's a ton of steps is up in Jerome, Arizona. And I can actually, let me see if I can find that video. There's the video. So I can actually bring up the video of, there we go, of when I was in Jerome, and the amount of steps that you just walk is just unbelievable. Let's see if I can find, oh, by the way, I lost about 25 pounds since that video. It's just thought I would just mention that. So anyway. Oh yeah. So there you go. This is a good idea of what it looks like in Jerome when you're just hiking steps and steps and steps. It like never ends. So my understanding is that Bisbee is a lot like that as far as Jerome, as far as the steps are concerned. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. But so that's pretty exciting stuff. Anyway, go back to the maps. But yeah, so Jerome is one area that I want to go to. Let me switch back. And there's also a place called Benson, Arizona. Or, I'm sorry, Bisbee. I want to go to Bisbee. I've been to Jerome. I want to go to Benson as well. And it's down here somewhere. I'm not exactly sure where Benson is. Let me type it in. But it's down in southern Arizona, and it's got a ton of history as well. Oh, there we go. There's Benson. Yeah, so there's Benson. click on some of the pictures from Benson. But yeah, it looks pretty awesome. I'm pretty excited about it. Check this out. I mean, the terrain. I believe that would be, geez, I'm trying to think of the name of that area, but it's been so long since I've been down there. But check out some of these rock formations. The landscape is just incredible. But Benson itself is a really cool town, a ton of history down there. There's so much to see. And so I'll be down in Benson. I'm hoping if I get a chance, I'd like to be down in Benson sometime in July. I want to hit Tombstone. I want to hit Benson. I want to hit Bisbee. And so I plan on bringing a lot more videos out to everybody pretty soon. But I will be taking a trip at the end of the month. Let me close out of that. I am going to be heading up to Spokane, Washington. Very excited about that. There are a ton of small towns along the way. And if anybody knows of anything that I really need to check out, let me know in the chat. But I plan on going kind of up through Utah, because I'll be going towards Spokane. I'm going to go through Utah and Idaho, and then maybe cut through Oregon and into Spokane, which is way up here. It's on the eastern side of Washington. But I got a conference that I'll be going to in Spokane, which my understanding is Spokane is absolutely beautiful. I mean, look at that. So I'll be doing a lot of filming of Spokane, even though it's not a small town per se. But my understanding, it has a very small town feel to it. There's a lot to see. There's a cool river that runs through Spokane. We're going to be staying in a hotel that actually sits right on the river. So that should be pretty cool. It's right next to one of the universities up there, Gasaga or something like that. So yeah, we're very excited about getting out there to Spokane. And then on the way back, what we plan to do on the way back is we're going to head down to see a friend of mine in Central Oregon. It's Ranger Rob. And Ranger Rob has a great YouTube channel. So check him out. Ranger Rob's Country Living is the name of the channel. And maybe I'll post a link into the description below this video once I'm done with it. But we're going to be heading south out of Spokane, and we're going to go into Central Oregon. And that's where he's at. That's where his homestead would be. And he's got Idaho pasture pigs. He's raising pigs. He's got an incredible farm over there for 5 acres on this homestead. He just utilizes just every square inch of his homestead, and it's phenomenal. So I'll be making a great video. I plan on spending an entire day just shooting Rob and his homestead, and he's got these pasture pigs, Idaho pasture pigs. He's got feed chickens. He's got like meat chickens. He's got egg chickens. He's got an incredible freeze drive system set up with his eggs, all this type of stuff. So I'm going to go through the whole thing, and his wife does all the canning and the freeze drying, and it's phenomenal. And he's got hydroponics and all this type of stuff set up. So, and a beautiful little puppy, a new little puppy too. So we're going to be checking out his little dog and checking out his homestead. And then from Central Oregon, we're going to head due west into Newport. And we're going to head south from Newport. We're going to take the coastal highway all the way south, and we're going to go through the redwoods. There is, it's called I believe the Alley of the Giants or the Avenue of the Giants or something like that. And so we're going to be going through the redwood parks and all that type of stuff to see the redwoods. We'll get amazing video through there. But along the coastal highway, you'll come across all these just tiny little towns. And so we're going to stop, and we're just going to take video of all these towns, and then give some history on the towns, maybe talk to some local people there that maybe have lived there a long time, maybe born there, raised there, grew up there, worked there, this type of stuff. But I'm very much excited about that. Looking very much forward to this trip and hitting all these towns. And then we're going to work our way all the way down. You see there's Fort Bragg right there. We're going to work our way all the way down into San Francisco. San Francisco is clearly not a small town, but there are, when you're when you're in San Francisco, how do you not shoot film? So this could be interesting because I've heard so many things about San Francisco. I try to stay out of the news and out of politics and that type of stuff because they'll just rot you to the core. But I have seen and heard some bad things about San Francisco, that they're letting their amazing city just kind of rot away, and it's unfortunate. But we're going to be going through the Golden Gate Bridge. Can't wait to do that. Can't wait to cross the Golden Gate Bridge and come into San Francisco here. Now, my understanding is there is a beach somewhere along this strip here. I don't know if you can see my cursor on the screen, but somewhere in this area, and it might be this Mile Rock Beach, I don't know, but there's a beach here that I stopped at a long time ago when I was on a motorcycle ride, and the water is just, it's cold as ice, but the water here, and you can see the Golden Gate Bridge. It's spectacular. The view is amazing. If you're interested in Alcatraz Island is over here. I'll be definitely, I don't think I'll be taking a trip to Alcatraz Island, but we'll be down in Fisherman's Wharf and taking pictures of Alcatraz and just kind of taking pictures of Pier 39 and all that type of stuff. So that's pretty cool. Lombard Street, that's the famous street. That's known as like the windiest road in America. It's not, but it's pretty steep, and it's really got quite a few turns, but it's beautiful. It's just covered in flowers. The landscaping is beautiful. So we'll definitely take a trip down Lombard Street. I'll take some video of that. I hope that if everything goes well, this is my plan. But Fisherman's Wharf is where you're going to find a lot of the restaurants, and it's where a lot of the sea lions hang out too. They're protected there. The sea lions are protected, so they hang out kind of on these boat docks. In fact, a lot of these boat docks you can't even bring boats into anymore. They used to be for fishermen, fishing boats and things, but now they're pretty much just dominated by sea lions. Of course, it was that way the last time I was there. It could have all changed. I have no idea. But we're going to be going into Chinatown as well in San Francisco. I want to take some shots of Chinatown and just different things that you typically see, or, kind of roadside attraction type stuff. Oh, there's Chinatown right there. So Chinatown, I was there, a long time ago, but let's take some pictures or show some pictures of Chinatown. It is absolutely one of my favorite places to go. TCB Reacts, he's there. He says, you got to stop at the Full House. What do you mean by that, TCB? The Full House? Oh, the Full House. I see. From the show, The Full House. Okay. I don't know where that's at. You'll have to let me know where that's at, but that would be kind of cool to see. But Chinatown is cool. I mean, when I was there, it is just like this. I mean, it's loaded with Chinese markets and Chinese restaurants and that type of stuff. You go there, and a lot of times you won't see like any English on the walls. Everything's written in Chinese. So you kind of gotta, so when I was there, from the TV show, that's exactly right. So when I was there in Chinatown the last time, and we wanted to eat, I was there with a buddy of mine, Steve. And so we just went into a restaurant. Nothing is in English. Everything is in Chinese. You have no idea how to order anything, so you just kind of look at what other people are eating, and you just kind of point and you say, that's, I want that. And then they'll bring it to you. But that's pretty cool. But Chinatown is just historic. It's really neat. And so I plan on taking some good video in Chinatown and walking the streets there. I hope it's safe. I don't want to get myself or my wife into any dangerous situations, but I'm very much looking forward to checking out Chinatown. It should be a lot of fun. But yeah, the Full House. I don't know where the Full House is. You'll have to let me know, Bear. Let's see. I'm going to invite, I want to see, I'll invite Bear to join the podcast. See if he wants to come on in. Let's paste that. There we go. Bear, I pasted the link inside the comments if you want to pop in and chat for a little bit. It's been so long since I've been live. I'm kind of excited about it because we're going to be doing this trip. So after San Francisco, after we take the coastal highway pretty much the whole way down the coast. Very much looking forward to that. Hitting all these different small little towns and stuff. We're going to head due east from San Francisco, and we're going to head over to Yosemite. That's Yosemite Park. So there we go. Click on the right one. But Yosemite Park, that's where El Capitan is. That's that famous mountain that the mountain climbers climb. But Yosemite Park is unbelievable. The views are immaculate, just unbelievable. Definitely worth checking out. So this trip is going to be a little bit different. I will be hitting quite a few small towns while I am traveling, but I won't be spending a tremendous amount of time in each small town. I just don't have the time to do it. But I am I'm looking forward to it towards this trip, and I will get a lot of video. But what I plan to do is I plan to take all my video and compile it into maybe a 3 or 4 part series of this trip. So that should be pretty cool, pretty exciting stuff. So who knows? We'll see what happens. But El Capitan is, if you saw that movie called Free Solo, this might be the face of El Capitan right there. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it is. But Free Solo is where that guy climbed the face of El Capitan with no ropes. He just climbed it with his bare hands. Amazing. If you ever get a chance to watch that film, Free Solo, check that out. It's one of those films that will keep you. It's a documentary. It'll keep you at the edge of your seat, especially. It starts out a little slow, but once he starts his climb, it's unbelievable. It is just immaculate. Now, this is a good picture of the tree that you used to be able to walk through or used to be able to drive your car through. I believe a lot of those are closed down now to cars. I don't know for sure. I did have the opportunity to ride my Harley through one of those trees. It was pretty cool. So anyway, so here's a picture, I think of, there's a climber right there on El Capitan. I don't know if I don't think I can zoom in on it. Unfortunately, let me share my screen. But you can see him right here sitting on the ledge. And this is one of the ledges that the climbers would walk as they're climbing up the side of El Capitan. But this is a body. This is a dude sitting here looking out over the Yosemite Valley from the edge of El Capitan. So pretty crazy, pretty insane. I don't know. I don't know if I would feel, well, I know I wouldn't feel comfortable doing that for sure. It would be insane. I would not. But some of the views of Yosemite Park are just amazing. And I'm very excited. I'm a big, and I always have been a big natural parks kind of nerd. I love going to all the different national parks. All right, looks like Bear's on the stream. Let me add him in. What's going on, brother?
Chilling. You? How about you?
Just decided to go live. It's been forever since I've done a live stream, and I had a couple, some free time tonight, and I thought I'll get on here and ramble and talk about some places that I plan to go.
I saw that you're going to San Francisco, and I had to put in there that you should go check out the Full House.
Yeah. Where is that located at?
Do
you know?
It's in San Francisco. It's at
I don't know where it's at. I mean, I'm sure. Is it in the actual house, just like the outside?
Yeah. I think they opened it up. They designed it. It's at 1709 Broderick Street.
1709?
Broderick. There it is.
Oh, they're the first one that popped up. Oh, there you go. Yeah, so it's kind of right there in the main. Right there.
I guess the producer from the show bought it and turned it into a museum.
Stephen Smith popped in. That might be my cousin. I'm not 100% sure. But hello, Stephen Smith. Yeah, so that's the house there that we're looking at, right?
Yep. I would go, that would be some good content right there, especially if it's open that day.
That would be phenomenal. All right, so I am making note. Well, obviously this is recorded, so I'm making note. 1709 Broderick Street. Yeah, we'll have to check that out because that would be pretty cool. In fact, when I was up in your neck of the woods, I went to the Mork and Mindy house. I had to go see the Mork and Mindy house
Oh, in Boulder, yeah.
in Boulder. Yeah, it still looks somewhat the same.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
yeah, so
Did you know that Robin Williams, I know that you're a Travel Channel, but Robin Williams is actually the first male cheerleader in the NFL.
I did not know that.
There was an episode of Mork and Mindy where he runs out in the Pony Express during an actual Bronco game. And
Wow.
so he's actually considered the first male, even back then, back in the 70s, he was considered the first NFL male cheerleader. Pretty cool.
I was unaware of that. That's pretty slick.
Should find the clip on YouTube and watch it. It's funny.
Yeah. So how about you? Are you doing any traveling over the summer? Are you planning on, I know we had talked about you coming out to Arizona.
I am going to be out there. If you give me the date when you are going to go down to Tombstone, I'm going to try to fly me and Bree out there and do the Tombstone thing. Cause I know we've been planning that since you started the channel.
Right. Yeah. I think it's going to be sometime in July. I have like a 2-week break in school. Okay. It's the only two-week break that I get in the 2 years that I'm in school. So I'm taking advantage of that. I want to go to Benson. I want to go down to Tombstone. I want to go to Bisbee and kind of do a full visit.
Yeah, because we want to go check out Tombstone. So we've been planning to do it. It's just, I went back to work and it's just
I know life gets in the way, right?
But we're gonna make it out there if it's in July. Because I know you said that the best time to go down there was in September. So I remember you saying that. But
yeah, it's going to be ridiculously hot in July. And there's a good chance that we'll get thunderstorms too from all the storms that come through. So, yeah. But
I'm so excited that you're going to Spokane. I actually was I was stationed on Fort Lewis and we went out to Spokane. At the time, me and my ex-wife, we went out to Spokane a few times. It's a nice little area.
That's what I hear. I hear it's pretty awesome. So is it like Gonzaga or something like that? The college that's right there?
It is Gonzaga. But there's some also history in that area too. I think Spokane is where if you could find the house, you could find the house to I think it was Bundy. Bundy's house is out in Spokane.
Are you talking about like the serial killer?
Yeah.
Oh, great.
It's just content for your channel.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. That'd be pretty cool. Stephen Smith said Bisbee is great. Yeah, I've yet to be there. And I've lived in Arizona, I don't know, 18 years now. And it's one of those places that I've wanted to go. I've just never had a chance to get there. I've been to Tombstone and I've been through Benson just driving by, but I've never been to Bisbee. So we're going to make it happen.
Yeah, dude. You have a lot of great history out there in Arizona, especially from the Wild West times. So you're lucky to be in that area.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. We do have a lot of history. Holbrook is one of the videos that I did. And Holbrook is, it's interesting because the Pleasant Valley Wars, that was really concentrated in that area. And the Pleasant Valley Wars is what kept Arizona from becoming a state. Because when we were applying for statehood, Washington, they kept saying, you guys are a little bit too Wild West out there. You're killing people. You're stealing cattle, killing people, all this type of stuff. So we're going to go ahead and pass. So it took several decades, I think, for Arizona to finally get statehood because of the Wild West mentality here. It's pretty nuts.
If you were to talk about like one of the best places to go that you've been to so far on your small town, where would you recommend? I did see the episode where you went to with the mules, the donkey.
Oh yeah, Oatman.
Yeah, Oatman.
Yeah, I recommend Oatman. Oatman is definitely a cool little town. And there's a lot to, if you're up in that area, you're probably going to go to Williams. You're probably going to go to the Grand Canyon. There's a lot of different places to go when you're up in that area. Oatman is a great little place to take your family or whoever for a couple hours.
Now I'm gonna put you on the spot, John, because I think the world wants to know. Every time you go to a small town, you do get something to eat at a local restaurant. And
I do.
I've seen your videos. What is the best restaurant that you've been to? And
okay, I would say probably the Haunted Hamburger is probably my favorite spot that I hit so far. The Haunted Hamburger sits up on right in Jerome, and it looks out over the Verde Valley. It's phenomenal. In fact, let me see if I can bring that video up. There's Jerome. I'll kill so we don't have. Yeah, I don't want any volume. I think my there we go. Let's see. My internet is lagging hard. Oh, there we go. But yeah, so I was talking earlier in Jerome how I'm not sharing my screen. Duh.
I was like, what are you showing?
Yeah. I'm trying to, my internet is lagging because of StreamYard. But I was talking about how many steps you got to walk up. I walked up step after step I walked 1,000 steps, but I finally made it. That's the Haunted Hamburger to my left there. So this is the restaurant from the inside. And I normally, because this was right when I started my health diet kick, so I'm at the Haunted Hamburger and I'm eating a chicken salad, but their food was phenomenal. The waitress or the bartender was fantastic. So the whole thing, the whole service, everything was perfect. And the view is just unbelievable up there. So, and the guy that owns the Haunted Hamburger, he owns several restaurants that are, every single one of them is amazing. He owns Nick's, and it's, I just happen to be talking to Nick, but he owns Nick's Italian food and seafood bistro, which is down in Cottonwood, Arizona. One of the best restaurants. In fact, if Shelly and I are traveling north, anywhere between here and Flagstaff, we always get off the interstate and go over to Cottonwood to hit Nick's Italian bistro. It's amazing.
Yeah, dude. I like a lot of the stuff that you do. And I know that the very first video that got you into the travel log, and I remember that one. It was the one you went to California and you went into that art community.
Slab City.
Yeah. Can you tell us a little bit about your experience in Slab City?
Slab City is, let's put it this way. It is it's an interesting place. Because Slab City, kind of the history behind it, it used to be a military base. It was a military base up until after World War II. And then the military pulled out of there and they left all these huge concrete slabs. And it's out in the, I think it's Imperial Valley, California, near the Salton Sea. And so it's very destitute, very hot. I'm talking maybe even hotter than Phoenix. And it is literally in a middle of nowhere. So it's a very destitute area. Nobody wants to take responsibility for it. But anyway, they left all these big concrete slabs out there. So people started just pulling their RVs or whatever they could pull in and parking them on the slabs. And they would squat there because there's no taxes. There's no law. There's really nothing. And so, but there's no running water. There's no sewer, anything like that either. So in that regard, it's kind of filthy, But these artists kind of moved in there and they started building little art colonies, right? Because, when in the 60s and the 70s, when all the hippies and all those people were kind of coming across and they were just kind of starting to shack up there. But the problem is today, it's become kind of a sketchy place. There's a lot of drug addicts there. There's a lot of people that are kind of maybe running from the law, maybe hiding from the law, and they're just kind of living over there, squatting over there. So people have to ship in their own water. They've got to get rid of their trash. There's just trash everywhere. But there's only one rule in Slab City, and I could let me close this out, and I will bring my map back up.
Would you recommend somebody going out there to go travel out there, or is it too sketch?
It's a place to visit. I would visit during. Let's bring us back up here. I would visit only during the day. I would not go to Slab City at night. Let's see if I can bring the. Let me bring up the. I don't know if there's a street view. Would it be terrain? I don't know. No, this is it, right? Let me close that out. Yeah, so it's kind of hard to see. There's some pictures, but this is this is called. I forget what it's called. Salvation Mountain, I think is what it's called. And this is an artist. He built this, and every day they're repainting this Salvation Mountain because the sun just destroys the paint. But this is all hay bales covered in I don't know, mud, maybe hay bales covered in mud, and then painted over it. And so this was obviously dedicated to God. It's very colorful. A lot of it is starting to collapse and to fall in. So you used to be able to walk all over it. You used to be able to walk on top of it. And there was different areas over here to the right side where you could kind of go in little tunnels and things like that. But they have it all shut off because it's starting to cave in. But pretty cool place. I mean, so that's worth going to see. And that's the first thing that you actually come to when you come into Slab City. You come into a little hut on the right that says, welcome to Slab City, the last free place on earth, whatever. But then the very first attraction you come to is this Salvation Mountain, which is really cool. Like I said, it's really cool. You can give donations there's no entrance fees or anything like that, but you can give a donation to help support Salvation Mountain because this artist, the original artist, died, but the people that have taken it over are constantly painting it and keeping up with it. And so it's pretty cool.
Does it look the same, or do they paint different colors, different designs on that, or do you know?
Different design, do they change it?
Yeah, do they change it, or is it always the same and just bright, refreshing the colors?
I think it's I'm not 100% sure of. I know the main, the heart and all that has always stayed the same from my understanding. I don't know if they changed. These are supposed to be waterfalls back here with a tree and all this type of stuff. But I don't know if it changes as far as the designs. I don't know. It could it could maybe. Yeah. But the problem is in the summertime, well, I mean, any time of the year, but in the summertime, the retired folks, the snowbirds, they leave and they go home. So it becomes more of kind of a drug user den, an addict den. So there's a lot of people this is called East Jesus, by the way. This is a really cool place too. There's so many things to see. There's so much art, and they make this art out of junk. It's kind of all repurposed junk, but really cool stuff. When I was there, I felt very safe. Because it was daytime, I didn't feel threatened. There was nobody there. Didn't see anybody in East Jesus. And there was only a handful of people over at Salvation Mountain. We went to visit the library over there. I don't know if they have pictures of the library. The only person that was working in the library was the librarian. It's a free library. I don't know if that's it. I don't think so. Oh, there you go. There's a picture of the library. So this is a place where people can go and take a book, leave a book. You can sit and read inside the library, whatever. But it's very much still kind of a hippie commune, where people they just want to be left alone. They want to be off grid. they're kind of societal rejects, if you will. And I don't mean that in a negative way. It's just they've rejected society. You know, society hasn't really rejected them. And so they just live there, and it's extremely hot in the summer. And so you got your hippie type people there, some drug addicts and stuff. But there's only one rule there. Thanks, Stephen. Thanks for stopping by. I don't know if you're taking off, but there's only one basic rule there that if you mess with other people's stuff, the town, the group of people, they're going to get together and they're going to burn your place down.
Wow.
So don't mess with other people's stuff. You know, don't go in and try to steal somebody else's water. Don't try to steal somebody else's food. Don't try to steal someone else's lawn chair, anything like that. Because if you get caught, and you will, because there's eyes everywhere, the town gets together and they will come to your slab and they will burn everything down. And it would be it'd be best if you left at that point. Yeah. So
keep it at 100. Huh?
yeah, exactly. So there's one of those tunnels that used to be open at Salvation Mountain, but unfortunately it's not open anymore. But there's like creepy stuff. Like I saw this car. This car is covered in baby doll heads, and kind of freaky, you know. It's just kind of strange. Here you go. This is a good picture. I don't know if you can see it or not, but
yeah, you can. I saw it in the video. In the video, you really get close to that car. And
yeah, I did. Yeah. Pretty creepy. But yeah, so there's different kind of stuff, you know, and there is a skate. This used to be a pool, I guess, a swimming pool, and they turned it into the skate ramp. There used to be like a coffee shop up there or something like that, that people would hang out. Well, whoever owned the coffee shop, I guess, pissed off the wrong people, but they burn it to the ground. So that happens a lot up there. Like you'll drive up there and you'll just see so many places that are burned out. This is that I was telling you about that little building when you first pull in. It says almost there, but this changes all the time. People change what these buildings say all the time. But there's a good shot of Salvation Mountain right there. That's a pretty good shot.
that's crazy. I can't believe when you told me you were going up there and you told me that that's what it was. I was like, I don't know if John's coming back.
I know. Yeah, dude, it is creepy. You don't feel like you feel uncomfortable, like people were watching you. I didn't feel threatened per se, but everything that I've read and everyone, you know, I've watched a lot of videos. Here's another good picture of one of those concrete buildings there. But everything that people have said to me, and they said, you know, you're safe. Just don't go out at night. Just don't hang out at Slab City at night because tweakers come out, thieves come out, and they want what you have.
You went to the little that town with the tunnels. I forgot what the tunnels were. What town that was?
Oh yeah, that's Williams.
Williams. What was it like being down in those tunnels?
Dude, that was probably the most unanticipated video that I've ever done. Travel experience, maybe the most unanticipated travel experience, because I went to Williams to kind of talk about the Wild West history. I wanted to film the Grand Canyon Railroad and all that type of stuff, talk about the history of the railroad and stuff. And I just happened to talk to this guy. He was walking down the street. He saw me filming and he says, hey, what are you filming? I said, oh, I'm a YouTuber. I just come to small towns. And he said, well, I'm sure you know all about the tunnels, the underground tunnels. And I said, no, absolutely. I don't. Right. So he kind of filled me in. He worked at one of the motorcycle shops up there. Apparently under his motorcycle shop, they have some remnants of the tunnels left. He said they're pretty deep, like 60 feet deep or whatever. He said, but most of them have been filled in with gravel and earth to prevent the streets from caving in and things like that. What I found out is I get kind of the vibe up there that the town isn't real proud of those tunnels because of the history of the tunnels. But there are some people that own restaurants up there or own businesses up there that have preserved the tunnels, at least under their property, because of the history, right? Whether it's good history, bad history, something to be proud of, ashamed of, it's still history. It's still part of the town. It's still part of America, especially like mid 1800, pioneer America, that type of stuff. So I was blown away because I went from, you can see in the video, I went from like business to business, and I probably stopped at 30 businesses. I only showed a couple in the video, but I stopped at almost every business talking and asking people about them. Most people acted like they never heard us. I don't know what you're talking about. There's no tunnels. What are you talking about? And again, I think they just don't want to be bothered by it. But I finally came to a place and met a lady there. Her name was Rebel. She was the bartender. And Rebel was like, yeah, we've preserved the tunnels underneath our establishment. And if you want to come check them out. And she took me on a tour of them. And just knowing the history, knowing that they were built by Chinese immigrants, the Chinese that were building the railroads back then, how poorly the Chinese immigrants were treated, especially by the people, that were settling out here, because they felt like the Chinese were taking jobs away from them. They were kind of a threat to them. Plus, they looked different, right? We're talking the mid 1800s, where you didn't have access to the internet. You didn't have access to different publications where you could see people different from us, right? So they encountered these Chinese immigrants, and they just didn't like them. And so they forced them to live underground. It was against the law. There was ordinances in Williams and other Arizona towns where the Chinese railroad workers were not permitted to be above ground to be seen. So they lived in the basements of these buildings. They were forced to live underground. And so in order to be able to go around from, the family to family or whatever, they dug these tunnels from basement to basement, all underneath this. It's like this elaborate group of tunnels. And they supposedly ran from town to the railroad as well, all underground, so that they could get to the railroad and start working, come back up and start working on the railroad. So pretty fascinating. They would take the Chinese were opium users. So they would take little bottles of opium and they used them as opium dens. They would sit down there and do opium. And from my understanding, even the people that lived in Williams, the loggers and ranchers and things like that, the people that lived in town, the blacksmiths, they knew what was going on down there, and they would go down and use opium with the Chinese too, right?
Of course they would.
they're gonna pass the ordinance. We can't see it up here, but we're gonna come down there and kind of use some of your opium. So pretty interesting. And then the tunnels. Ultimately, after the railroads were built and the Chinese moved on, the tunnels were still there. So when Prohibition hit back in the 20s, then the saloons and the bars in Williams would use those tunnels as speakeasies. So it was like, then they, from opium den to speakeasy, there was maybe a way to move prostitutes, ladies of the night, from place to place. They would use those tunnels to travel back and forth from one establishment to another establishment. So pretty wild stuff, and I had no idea they existed. I had been to Williams multiple times. Oh, hey, Yellow Shirt Dad is here. He's funny. His channel, he comes on, his videos are like literally like a minute and 10 seconds long, but he just comes on from a different location from wherever he's at and tells a joke of the day. And it's pretty good stuff. So check out Yellow Shirt Dad. It's dad jokes. It's good stuff. But, and also TCB's with us, TCB Reacts. You have to check out his channel. TCB Reacts is probably one of the best music reaction video channels on YouTube. So check him out, TCB Reacts. But yeah, good to see you too, Yellow Shirt Dad. Yellow Shirt Dad and I met actually, I think it was watching a StreamYard show or whatever. And I have a StreamYard pillow. I won this. StreamYard was doing a live stream, and they did one of those randomizer deals. And my channel got picked, and they sent me a pillow, and I got a little stuffed duck around here somewhere too. So shout out to the StreamYard guys. Yeah.
You've also, and then one of the things that
I'll put this up here.
One of the craziest things is that you also got your channel selected to somebody did a small little blurb about your channel, didn't they?
Yeah. That was they did like a review. It was like one of the like tube. It wasn't Tube Buddy, but it was like one of those people.
Like vidIQ or something.
It was a vidIQ. Yeah, they did one of my channel. They did a review of my channel, so that was kind of cool. Yeah,
And they gave you mad props.
they did. And the guy that selected me actually was having internet connection issues, so he ducked out. And the other two guys, they were kind of nice about it. So yeah, it was pretty cool. Pretty cool.
That's awesome, dude. What you've been able to accomplish in the last year has been awesome, man. Especially starting with 0 subscribers, and just changing your whole game up. Because I remember you were doing, if you don't mind me saying, you were doing reaction videos to TV show to trailers.
The trailers, yeah. I was trying to start a YouTube video or a YouTube channel just to start one, and I liked doing it. It was called Backyard Reactions. I didn't mind doing it, but it just wasn't like something that I was passionate about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm just not passionate about it. So I decided, you know what, I've had this dream of mine to do a video or like a YouTube channel or a show about small town America, because small towns, dude, it's where like the best people live. They mind their own business. They do their thing. They go to work every day. They have big hearts. They're good people. And there's great restaurants there. There's great history in these little towns. And we spend so much time on either the beach or the big city that we overlook. In fact, most of these, like where these small towns exist, it's called flyover country, right? People fly from New York or Philly out to LA or San Francisco, and everything in between is flyover country. And people just, they miss out on small town America. And small town America is just such an amazing place. It's full of like little pockets of little towns, and there's history, and it's like high school football is everything to them. You know what I'm saying? They got their high school team, and then 15 miles down the road is another small town in Iowa somewhere that they just want to pounce. Like they can't wait for their high school team to play this high school team, and it's a big rivalry. But at the end of the day, they all care about each other, and they're good people, and they go out and farm and feed us all and take care of us. And meanwhile, we give them no props. So good people out there.
Which one of these days, man, when I go back into retirement and you finish college, we should take a little trip down Route 66.
Oh, I'd love to do that. All the way from Chicago.
Yeah, be dope.
See the whole thing.
Because speaking of Route 66, you did a video on the Wimwoms, and the reason why I'm mentioning that is I keep telling people about the Wimwoms, and I try to explain it to them via cars. Like the Cozy Cone is based off the Wimwoms. You were telling me when in that town where those are at. Does it have that?
Yeah,
does it have that cars feel like that old Route 66 feel in that town, or?
Yeah, absolutely, it does. In fact, I think, and I can verify this. Holbrook is the name of the town. But let's see. I'll see if I can share my screen. I don't know if this is going to work or not because my internet is garbage when I'm trying to run. Let's see. Yeah. So they're wigwams, and they look like teepees, but anyway, so it's called Seligman. Seligman is the town, and I haven't been there yet, but Seligman is one of the towns that I plan to go to. Seligman is actually the town that Cars is based off of. Now, they did take things from Holbrook, like the wigwams, and I think they took some stuff from Oatman as well, where all the donkeys, the wild burros are. But Seligman itself is the town along Route 66 that the movie Cars is based off of.
Okay. I just remember that that was one of the things that I try to explain, that the Cozy Cone is a real thing, and I couldn't remember the town because but it was,
yeah.
I try to explain it. It's like they're like, what are the wigwams? I'm like, dude, it's the Cozy Cone. They're like, no, that's a cartoon. I was like, oh. So I sent him to your channel.
Yeah, it's called the wigwam hotels or motels or whatever. You know, every time I go to watch my own video, there's always ads, and it's like it'd be nice to get paid
That's why I get
one of these days.
That's why I pay for YouTube Premium.
Yeah, I don't know. My stupid video is not coming up, but let me see if let me exit out of that. Oh, what would you imagine that? Okay, here we go. Let me share. For some reason, it's not wanting to play. But anyway, the Wigwam Hotel is it's famous. I think it was built in the 50s. And oh, there's me. Finally, there we go.
And you actually stayed there. Is it comfortable inside that?
It is. It's actually pretty roomy in there. They've got a queen bed and a little desk to sit at, and a separate little bathroom, you know, a little bathroom shower area. Very comfortable, very clean. The same family, I think, has owned the Wigwams for generations. I think it's like the third or fourth generation or something like that since they've owned it. My video is freezing and just crap because of my internet. But anyway, so I'll just remove it. There we go. But yeah, so the Wigwams, let me see if I can bring up some pictures. Maybe it'd be better. Wigwam Motel. Not that. I got to shut YouTube down. There we go. This will work. There we go. Yeah. So these are the Wigwams. This is what you'll see. I mean, all these old cars and everything, they're there all the time. They're just parked there. It's pretty slick. But this is what a typical Wigwam would look like if you're going to stay there. It's got a little bench, and they all have names on them and things like that. But you go in there. I wish I could get my video working. But there, yeah, here we go. So,
dude, that's not even a bad price at all.
No,
$99 a night.
Yeah, no, super affordable. And it's cool because Holbrook is a neat town. Like I said, Holbrook is a place that a lot of Wild West history there. The Blood Bucket Saloon is in Holbrook. That's where this shootout occurred at this this bar, you know, the saloon area. There was so much blood splattered all over the floor and all through the bar. They said it was like someone was like throwing buckets of blood all over this place, and that's how much blood there was. It was incredible. So just really cool. The train runs through there. The bucket of blood is there. The Pleasant Valley Wars occurred there. This was between two like cattle versus sheep herding families, all kinds of stuff. They were like, plus Native Americans were involved in that type of stuff. The Apaches and the Navajos were involved up there. They had a sketchy sheriff that was killing everybody. Shot a 15-year-old unarmed kid at his doorstep. All kinds of crazy stuff happened there. But Holbrook is close to the Petrified Forest and the Painted Desert. It's close to the Crater National Park up there, where this massive crater hit this giant hole in the ground up there. Not far from Winslow, Arizona as well. So a ton of stuff to see up there. It's in the high desert of Arizona along Interstate 40, but really, really, really awesome little town. People like they overlook places like this. You know, they're just whipping through. Maybe they'll stop in Holbrook to fill up their gas, hit the bathroom, maybe grab a burger, and they're out of there. But they don't realize the history of these little towns. It's phenomenal.
Yeah, dude, like some of the stuff that I see on your channel was just crazy, and I'm glad you started doing it, because when we go out there, I want to be able to see some more of the stuff that you've provided, especially like the bucket of blood area, and then Holbrook Oatman really caught my eye. The part in the video where you're actually searching for the Oatman massacre area was insane, dude.
Yeah, surprisingly, that's like a 5-hour drive where all of Oatman and her family were murdered by Native Americans up there back in the 1800s. See, the Oatman family, I forget the old man's name off the top of my head, but anyway, Royce, his name was Royce Oatman. Royce Oatman decided that he was going to break off from the Brigham Young faction of the LDS religion, the Mormons. And so they were prepared to leave Missouri. And so the Oatmans and a bunch of other Mormons that decided to leave, they felt that the promised land was somewhere in Southern California. So they decided to get on, horses and, Conestoga wagons, whatever, and cross the Southern United States. And they were going to get to Southern California. That was their goal. And Royce Oatman kind of had like a Moses complex, right? He was going to bring the Mormons out of Egypt, so to speak, out of Missouri, and bring them into the promised land. So all of these families are crossing the country, and they get to a place which is called Picacho Peak here in Arizona. They get to a place called Picacho Peak, and everybody there that lives in this area says, don't go any further. Like, if you go any further, the natives out there they're extremely unfriendly. You're not going to make it. So everybody that was with the Oatman family, all the other families, decided to pack it up and stay there. They're like, yeah, we're not going to go in. They may have returned to Tucson. I don't know. But Royce Oatman was like, nope, it doesn't matter. This is, I'm being called by God, like kind of like the Blues Brothers, right? I'm on a mission, mission for God. And so he packed his family up, and they took off, and they started going across Gila Bend and got into the area where they were, and just got ransacked by Native Americans. Now there's different stories. Some believe that the natives were trying to trade with Royce Oatman, and Royce Oatman said, no, I don't want to trade with you people. And they killed him. Or it was just, they got ambushed. I tend to believe that they probably got ambushed. I don't think there was a trade involved. Why would the Indians care? Why would they care? Why would they try to trade? If I kill them, I have everything anyway. What's the difference, right? So that's kind of my belief as far as the history is concerned. But so what they did was they killed Royce Oatman. They killed the mother and a couple of the kids. They kidnapped Olive Oatman and her younger sister. And you like, if you don't know who Olive Oatman is, you've seen her. She's a young girl from the 1800s, and she's got tattoos on her chin. I'll get to that in a minute. But anyway, they kidnapped Olive Oatman and her younger sister, and they took her brother and threw him over one of the rocky cliffs out where they were massacred. And it's like, it is like you're on another planet out there. It's just barren, hot, and just nasty out there. So they threw him over a cliff for dead. They figured he was dead, or he would starve to death, but he made it back. He started walking out of there, was found by another Native American tribe, a friendly tribe. The friendly tribe got him back to the military, the U.S. military base, I believe, down in southern Arizona, on the border of California. Forget the name off the top of my head right now. Anyway, Yuma, got him down to Yuma, Arizona. And then he spent the next several years of his life looking for his two sisters. Well, the tribe that kidnapped them would rape them and beat them and starve them and just treated them like they were just, pieces of meat. So another Indian tribe came along and traded for the two girls. Now, the youngest girl was already too far gone. She died. But Olive Oatman survived and actually became part of that tribe. She assimilated into the tribe that saved her. And the tattoos on her chin, and she had some on her chest and shoulders and stuff like that too, which they typically don't show. But the tattoo was signified that she was part of that tribe, that she volunteered to be part of that tribe. It was an honor to get those tattoos. And what that meant was that in the afterlife, the male Indians would be able to spot their women with the tattoos in the afterlife. So that's why they did that. In fact, there is history that states that when her brother did find Olive Oatman eventually, she didn't want to leave the tribe. She wanted to stay with the tribe, but she left. She went with her brother, and ended up doing like touring the country and telling her story, which a lot of the facts don't even, like the stuff that she talked about didn't even line up. I guess if you, I'm sure she suffered from post-traumatic stress disorder, you know, everything that she went through, being tortured and raped and seeing her sister die and all, and seeing her parents murdered in front of her. Right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm sure that would have impacted her memory and that type of stuff. But anyway, she went around and I think she wrote a book, and she had somebody write a biography, and she toured the country and kind of, I think she ended up settling in Texas somewhere. So pretty interesting story. But yeah, so the city of Oatman, the town of Oatman, I should say, is named after her because once the town, I think it was the mayor of the town, had heard the story of Olive Oatman and her family, and they decided to name the town after her. But she was never, the family was never there in that area. They're like 5 hours apart.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And before you go out and do a video, do you do it like for me when I do my reaction videos? What separates me from other reactionists is I do most cases I do a history about the song or the artist. Do you do a lot of history before you go out into these small towns, just to before you get out there?
Yeah, I try to do that. It depends. Let me see. Here's a good picture of Oatman. If I can share this. There we go. So you've probably seen that picture.
Yeah, I think you posted that on your
You
video.
see, like the tattoos. Yeah, yeah. So that would be her, just in case other people are watching, you know.
And then they were real modest back in the 1800s, so they didn't show like this part of their body like we do today.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, in fact, I think when they found her, when her brother found her, I think she was probably very scantily clad. My understanding is that the Indian tribe that she lived with, that she fell in love with, you know, the women just wore bottoms. They didn't wear any tops or anything like that. So she would have had decorative tattoos in different areas. So, but yeah, it'd be covered up.
Was she married to a native? Did I ever go into the story or no?
I've heard that I heard that she did have like a male Indian that kind of took her in, but I don't know for sure.
Did she ever marry?
She married another guy. She married an American guy and then moved to Texas, and that's where.
Oh, okay, it's kind of weird to, go to bed looking at a girl with a tattoo on her chin, but hey.
Hey, look at today's society. It's worse.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. So, but yeah, interesting. I think, she probably made pretty good money traveling the country and sharing her story and doing stuff like that. So, money attracts people. So
that's for sure, man. Some of the places that you've traveled, man, is just like when you did all those steps. And then you showed it again, man. I was getting flashbacks, bro.
I know.
That's a lot of steps.
Yeah, so pretty interesting. You were asking me about something else before I brought the picture of Olive Oatman up, and I forget what it was.
I do too.
Anyway, but yeah, so pretty cool. And then we're going to be doing the trip to southern Arizona. Like I said, we're going to do Benson and Bisbee and Tombstone and some other places. And so I hope we can get together to do that. It'd be phenomenal. I'll get the dates and talk to Shelly about that. So we'll stay at my house. You guys can stay with us, and then we'll because we have a whole guest wing of our new house.
Oh, that's right. You did move, huh?
Yeah, we moved. So yeah, we have kind of a guest area. So we'll make sure we make you guys comfortable. But yeah, so, and then we're leaving for Spokane, Washington. That's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to do that.
No casinos the next time I go down.
Yeah, no casinos.
Bree wins and I lose.
Yeah, so you break even, right?
Yeah, dude, I'm excited, bro. Like, I'm excited to see where your next step goes on your channel, dude. Because the more that your videos, the editing on them is so much better. And I know you don't use DaVinci Resolve like I do, but you make that little system that you have work, bro.
Yeah, I definitely have the cheap budget video editor, but I've learned different tricks and to make things work, and you just you got to do it, because I feel like there's either basic or there's DaVinci Resolve, which are miles apart. Like there's nothing like in the middle.
No, because even Adobe Premiere Pro is kind of,
It's DaVinci level.
yeah. I try to go back. Well, when I started just doing. I used Premiere Pro, and I kind of got really good at that, and then I switched to DaVinci Resolve just because YouTube. You watch YouTube. Oh, this is the latest and greatest. I would try to go back to Premiere. I can't, dude. It's night and day.
Yeah, that's what everybody says. I mean, especially with the paid version of DaVinci. The free version is it's got its bugs, but I think the paid version is better.
The new 18.5 is really, really good, man. It's a lot more simpler. They brought back the waveforms. I know that's why because you were using Resolve for a little bit. And you were getting good at it.
I was, but the one that I use, it's just fast, and it's it does what I need it to do. I don't need anything special. So
maybe I should use the one you use, because I think Resolve is a little too advanced for what I do.
Yeah, I mean that's what I was like. I'm not an expert, editor, so I don't. It's like, I don't know. What would be a good example? I don't know. Like buying a Cadillac, when all I got to do is get, down to the grocery store. I don't need all the bells and whistles just to drive 2 miles to Walmart.
Right? I feel you on that. That hits home for me. I'll tell you why later on.
Yeah.
But you're doing big things, bro. And your channel's going great. You're 90 something subscribers away from 1,000.
Yeah. Last time I checked, I had just hit 900 or something like that. I don't know where else. Check to see where I'm at now. 911. I'm at 911. So that's pretty awesome. I'm pretty excited about that. Oh, Yellow Shirt Dad. He gave me a shout out. He's awesome. Yeah. Awesome. Thank you, Yellow Shirt Dad. I appreciate you. So check out his channel too. Like I said, it's like short little videos of dad jokes, and you got to love dad jokes.
Who doesn't? I'm a dad.
Yeah, I'm a dad, right? And the cornier, the better. So,
right. Dude, John, but you've been great, bro. Thanks for having me on, man.
Yeah, Bear, it's been awesome. I'm looking forward to it. So let me know for sure. I'll give you the dates about coming out to Arizona, and we'll plan something and get you out here and take you down to Tombstone so you can see Big Nose Kate's, and you can see the OK Corral and the gunfights in the street and all that type of stuff.
Good. Well, the next time you come through Colorado, man, we gotta take you up to go see Doc Holliday's grave.
Yeah, I want to see that, and I want to see Cousin Eddie's farmhouse.
That's right around the corner.
I know.
And then then there's a hotel that they stayed at that's right up, like not even a half mile from my house.
Oh, really?
Yep.
The hotel that the Griswold stayed in?
Yep. It's here. It's down just a few miles south of or it would be actually west from where I'm at, southwest. So
oh wow,
it's like 5 minutes away. I'll take a picture of it next time I'm there.
Is that like South Fork or somewhere they stayed, or I don't know.
It was a made up town, but they've there's the farmhouse where Cousin Eddie Screwed would lived at is east of where I live, and then where they stayed at the hotel in Colorado is southwest, which is about it's in the city where I live. Next time I go by there, I'll go I'll stop and I'll take a picture, because there's a really good burrito place right there. So
perfect. Yeah, burritos on me. Sunless says Camp Verde Valley or south of Tucson area. I'm not sure. What's your question, Sunless? Because Camp Verde would be north of Phoenix. Camp Verde is up around Cottonwood, that type of area. And then south of Tucson is where we're going to be going, down to Benson and Bisbee and where Big Nose Kate's is, Tombstone, that type of place. So
I'm excited. I'm going to let Brie know. She already texted me goodnight. So
perfect. All right.
I'll let her know in the morning that sometime in July we'll be making our way down to Arizona.
All right, cool. Well, I'm excited. I'm excited to hang out and excited to go do a little small town touring with you.
Heck yeah, man. I'll talk to you later.
All right. Take care.
Oh, he says I'm going down in a week to check out some areas and maybe live.
Oh, cool. Right on. Okay.
Rio Rico versus Camp T.
Okay. Perfect. Camp Verde. Okay. Rio Rico. I don't know where that is, but Camp Verde is a nice area. It's right off of Interstate 17. And so you're kind of in between Phoenix and Flagstaff. So you're not too far away from, you know, like I said, Cottonwood and those types of Jerome, that type of area. So yeah, it's beautiful out there.
Did you know Verde means green?
I did know that. Yeah, the Green River.
The Green River. He said Cottonwood area.
The Cottonwood area. Cottonwood is great. It's one of my favorite little towns. Like I said, that's where Nick's Italian Bistro is. Dude, it's great. I'm telling you, it's like the best Italian restaurant in all of Arizona, and it's in the middle of nowhere. It's in this tiny little old town Cottonwood area.
It haunts you.
Yeah, I know.
That ghost burger, bro. That ghost burger.
Yes.
Do you still
haunted hamburger?
Do you still have that any of that honey from that honey place?
I do. I have some honey. Bought some and it's good. It's all like Arizona, you know, honey. It's pretty cool. And he's got little candies too. He got little like hard candies and stuff that's all made locally. But that's a place called Pine, Arizona. If I had a couple million, I'd buy a place up there.
Really?
Yeah, for sure. That's like one of my favorite places in all of Arizona. That's why I call it the hidden gem. That little town, Pine, Arizona, is a hidden gem. It is amazing.
That's crazy.
Oh, I'm gonna have to.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm gonna let you go, bro.
Okay.
All right,
I'm gonna have to mute my mic for a second.
All right, later, guys. Thanks for having me on, John.
All right, well, that's it. I am the small town tourist. I appreciate everybody stopping by. Yellow Shirt Dad, I appreciate you coming by and sharing my stuff out. That means a lot to me. I really do. I really appreciate that. I don't know if you ever go live, Yellow Shirt Dad, but if you ever go live and you just want to chat or whatever and tell some jokes, let me know. I'd love to do that. Sunless, thanks for stopping by. And a huge shout out to TCB Reacts. That's my friend Nick. We call him the Bear. Great channel, great reaction channel there. So anyway, guys, I appreciate it. I can't believe it's been an hour already. I'm excited to go up to Spokane. We're going to be leaving Phoenix here at the end of the month. I think it's about 2 weeks away. Leaving Phoenix, we're going to be driving all the way to Spokane, Washington. And when we get up there, we're going to, I have a conference to go to, but after the conference is over, we're going to leave, go through Central Oregon. We're going to visit a small homestead that's owned by a friend of mine, Ranger Rob. You can check out his channel too, Ranger Rob Country Living. Then we're going to head out due west and we're going to hit Highway 1, the Pacific Coastal Highway. And we're going to hit all those tiny little towns along the California and Oregon coast, all the way down to San Francisco. Shoot out due east from San Francisco to Yosemite, and then possibly through Death Valley and back on our way to Phoenix. So it's going to be a great trip. I'm going to make sure I record a ton of it, maybe put out a 2 or 3 video series. So keep an eye out for that. And then later in July, we're going to be heading down to Tombstone and Benson and Bisbee, and we're going to be making some videos down there as well. So until next time, make sure. Oh yeah, I will. It says I want to, and we'll let you know. Perfect. Yeah. Just hit me up through my channel or whatever. But until next time, get off the interstates and go enjoy small town America. We'll catch you next time.